Hey guys, with Sonic Racing CrossWorlds dropping next week, I wanted to make a quick video discussing the drift in depth. Thanks to the online network test, I've had a lot of time to sit with the game, learn its mechanics, and start experimenting with the game a lot more. And so I wanted to make this video to give you an in-depth guide as to how the drift works, the various drift speeds, how long it takes to charge up each drift, and if other statistics like different vehicle types potentially affect any of those factors. Quick disclaimer, obviously these are online network test stats, the numbers could very well change by the time the game releases, but because the test is so close to launch, I think it's safe to assume that the devs won't have enough time to make any balancing changes between now and then, but I'll happily make an updated video if need be. With that being said, let's get into it. For the testing, once again we are playing at Sonic speed, using Storm's Type S stream board as Sonic the Hedgehog. And for the other vehicle types, I will still be using Sonic. For the first round of testing, I just wanted to see how fast to go with any drift boost. So I didn't equip any speed altering stat gadgets, only gadgets that make you charge your drift faster. Hence, level 1, 2, and counter quick charge gadgets equipped. Starting off with extreme gear testing, I made sure to hit max rings right away so that I can set 197 as the max baseline speed in order to be able to compare the different boost speeds to easier. You can see that after a level 1 boost, the speed goes up to 217, and so the difference between 217 and 197 is 20, so the speed increases by 20, and I would say it lasts about 1.5 seconds as it starts to decrease immediately after hitting that top speed to go all the way back down to 197. With a level 2 drift boost, things get a lot more interesting because the top speed actually ends up being 222, and so the difference between 222 and 197 is 25, meaning you're gonna go a whole 5 speed points faster than you would using a level 1 drift boost, and it lasts significantly longer because by the time you hit top speed, that being 222 with a level 2 drift boost, you actually maintain that speed for about 2.5 seconds until it starts decreasing back to 197. So based on the pattern of gradual increases in speed, the higher the drift boost, you're probably thinking, okay, so a level 3 drift boost is going to get me even faster, right? Well, surprisingly it doesn't. With a level 3 drift boost, you hit a top speed of 222, meaning it's exactly the same as a level 2 drift boost, which means you only go up by 25 additional speed points. So then what's the difference? Well, a level 3 drift boost lasts a little bit longer than a level 2 drift boost. You maintain the top speed of 222 for about 3.5 seconds now, so an additional second before it starts decreasing again. So given what we know so far, I would say that it's best to use a level 2 drift boost as much as possible in most scenarios because it gets you the fastest top speed and it maintains top speed for a decent amount of time. So far, all of the testing has been done on land, so we need to determine if that would change depending on if we're drifting in the air or drifting on water as well. So I went to Rainbow Garden and picked that one flight section to do the testing in, and from what I was able to test, I didn't notice any differences at all statistically. Still flying at the same speeds as a level 1, 2, and 3 drift boost, though I will say the length of the boost did feel a little bit shorter. Tested again on the waters of the only sea section in the game so far, in Water Palace, and I will say these tests were interesting because you're a lot slower on water, like the top speed was 182 before I even did a single boost. A level 1 boost might as well just be useless, it barely did anything. Of course a level 2 boost is much faster, but nowhere near as fast as you would be on land or in the air, and I think it ends 1 second earlier. And once again, a level 3 boost is just like a level 2 boost, but 1 second longer. So then I went ahead and tried the different vehicle types, like an acceleration vehicle, a power type, a handling type, and a speed type, and you can see the results here.
Whoops, turn around.
Here's another really important thing that you've got to know about the drift boost. This is really important, so pay attention. Even after reaching top speed from a drift boost, you can actually increase it further by following it up with another drift boost in rapid succession. Like for example, you can see right here I go from 222 to 235. And the exact same thing happens when you drive over multiple dash pads really quickly. And you can even drift boost and drive over dash pads to do the same thing. So as long as you do like a level 2 drift boost to hit top speed for about 2.5 seconds and you keep spamming drift boost to keep increasing that top speed, you're going to be zooming, and it really helps when snaking, especially in time trials. And there's still one more thing we need to check out. You guys probably know that there's a gadget in the game called Ultimate Charge, which adds a 4th level to the drift charge, allowing you to become invincible when using a charge level 4 boost. So let's take a closer look at the level 4 drift boost. So you can see we're back in as Sonic on the extreme gear, and it takes a little while to rev up, but once you get going with max rings, you hit a top speed of 222, meaning that it only increases your boost speed by 25 speed points again, the same as a level 2 and a level 3 drift charge. But obviously you do have the added benefit of being completely invincible and immune to any attacks for at least the first 3 seconds after performing a drift boost, and you maintain top speed for 5 seconds, meaning it is an additional 1.5 seconds on top of a level 3 drift boost, which is way longer than that one. And once again, the exact same stats on different terrain as well as with different vehicle types. So that's everything there is to know about the drift boost speeds, but what about how long it takes to charge up different drift boosts? You know, you probably want to know if there are variations depending on the vehicle type you're using. So this was actually really difficult to test, and I'm not even sure if I got the numbers down accurately, especially when it comes to the different drift charge speeds for level 1. And if you played other racing games before, then you already know that the tighter the drift, the sooner you can charge up multiple drift levels. So the charge speed is highly dependent on how far you move the left stick around, and also your steering sensitivity as well. So what I tried to do was ram all of the vehicle types into a wall and then basically turn the stick in a certain direction and then force it there and held it down, so that way it would be a fair test each and every time. I don't really think this is the best way to go about it, but it was the best I could do given I can't just mod in a flat sandbox track to really make this testing as accurate as possible. From what I was able to see, I didn't really see any major differences in boost speeds. There were some variations, but again, I really don't know if that's because of the vehicle types or because of my testing. Although I did notice that the boost vehicle types, the extreme gear, definitely had a significantly faster speed charge, which makes perfect sense. That's also why boost tuners in the game, that gadget which actually doesn't make your extreme gear go faster, I got that wrong in a video before, it only increases your boost drift charging speed. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And of course I could do further testing with the other gadgets in the game, like the quick drifts and the counter quick drifts and things like that, and see the exact numbers as to just how much faster it makes it to charge your drift boosts. But unfortunately, I lost access to the online network test once the power went out, and so yeah, I couldn't really finish the testing. But that's all for the video. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope you learned something new today. I think it's safe to say after all the testing that you want to be aiming for level 2 drift charge boosts as much as possible. Don't settle for 1, go to at least 2, and if you really want to, charge up to 3 or 4. 4 specifically if you're in the lead and you want to remain immune to any projectiles. Alright, peace out.